This is Rockin' with Jam Man, is with Ship Z'Nuff. How you doing, man?
Very good today. Thanks for asking. I'm in Florida. I'm on tour in the Glam Slam Metal Jam tour with Pretty Boy Filet and the Midnight Devils and Enuff Z'Nuff. Got about four more shows to go on this run, and then I get on a plane and fly to the UK, and I'm out with Skid Row for 3 weeks doing all the forums and the O2 academies around the country. It's great.
Okay. So congratulations on your new album, Finer Than Sin.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. We got a lot of airplay in the first song. The video's up right now. It's called Catastrophe. It's a good rock and roll record. It's our 20th album. And I'm pretty excited that we're still moving forward.
I have to say, man, you really keep your 80s roots, man. Stay true to your sound.
That's all I know, to be honest with you. I work with a lot of different artists out there, but with Enuff Z'Nuff, I really believe in a legacy. What we started back in the old days, to still be going strong and putting new music out every day, certainly says a lot about the band.
So tell me about this album.
It's a great rock and roll record full of metaphors. It's straight ahead. It sounds like it's not overly produced. I produced most of the record with a guy named Rob Posen, who does a lot of punk rock records. He's more of a punk producer, but he loves rock and roll. He loves metal. And we bashed out the songs. We recorded about 15 songs for the record, maybe 20 songs, and then I figured maybe just put out 10. I don't want to put too much information out there. People are busy. They got a lot of stuff going on. There's a plethora of records that are being released right now. And if I can take you away from the everyday doldrums of life to listen to this record, I think you'll put a smile on your mug. It certainly will make you think a little bit, and that's the most important thing. But at the end of the day, it's a strong rock and roll record with good songs about everyday experiences that we went through, and perhaps the audience has as well. People that have went through tough times will get it, and the ones that are living good lives, they can embrace this album as well.
So what is it like being the frontman of the band now?
Certainly challenging. There's not about that. My brother, who is singing on the earlier records, fabulous singer, great songwriter, Donnie Vie. He's got a solo record out right now called Beautiful Things. To follow his footsteps, to navigate these waters is not the easiest gig. But I think I found my footing after playing 1,000 shows with the band as we are right now, and putting out 3 or 4 records in the last couple of years. I feel pretty comfortable in the position of being the front man of the band and carrying the legacy. And it's quite an extraordinary legacy as well. Band's been going for quite a long time. I put this band together back in '84. We were kids. Late '83, early '84. So here we are now after all these years. We over 20 albums released. I'm pretty proud of what the mark that we've left right now, the indelible mark. Let's just say, if you could be a footnote in this day and age, that's better than not being known at all. And there's quite a few bands out there, a lot of competition, but we write these records and put these songs out for ourselves first and foremost. And if we like them, then we turn everybody else on to them. And it's nice to be able to have record companies that believe in the music and put the songs out there and help us with and navigating in these challenging times. And I think this record follows suit on what we've been doing throughout our career, which is solid pop rock songs.
Did you always know that you could sing?
Oh yeah, I've always sung on all the records. But mostly on the earlier records was a lot of just accompanying my brother. But when he left the band, he said to me, "If you're going to carry on the name Enuff Z'Nuff, you should sing the songs. At least people will know when you step up on stage that it's the band." Because I was one of the familiar faces, I guess, in the early days, image-wise. So I took the bull by the horns, and I think after all these years, I found my footing.
Why didn't Donnie take on the last name like Z'Nuff like you?
He wanted to be called. He wanted to be called Donnie Vie. He liked that name. He liked the way it slipped off the tongue, very easily recognizable. And I thought that was a good idea. And that's the only reason.
What caused them to leave the band?
I think he got disillusioned by the business. He has some health issues as well, and maybe he felt that it was at the end of the run for him as far as carrying the name Enuff Z'Nuff. He felt that perhaps a solo career might be better suited for him. A different approach to the songs, not the heavy bombastic guitars. He wanted to soothe it down. He's more of a pop guy, and rightly so. I mean, his solo records are fantastic. Anybody go check him out. It's really an extraordinary songwriter and a fabulous musician.
Did he publicly talk bad and said that he hated the last time he was in the band because you guys played for the same 50 people in a seat in a 300 seat venues and you guys stopped him from creating new music?
That could be a shortcut to thinking on his part. The fans were coming out there to see the shows. The biggest bands in the world would play 300-seat venues too, as well. It's about reaching an audience and getting out there and playing all the time. And that's the living that we chose. Well, we were built to do this, so I can understand that because I believe that we're an arena band that's playing clubs a lot of times during the year. That's just part of the business. And you go where the work is and where the fans want to see you. And I think that I don't want to confuse motion with progress. I believe that being out there is better for us than just sitting at home and waiting for the big gigs to come in. You find the work, you go out there and you do it. And the fans have spoken. Band sounds terrific right now. I got Tony Fennell from Ultravox playing guitar with us. Corey Stoppregan from the Black Mollies, his lead guitar player, has known me for over 15 years. Daniel Benjamin Hill, one of the most solid rock drummers you're going to find around, great record producer as well, and songwriter. It's definitely a forge. It's a strong, solid unit right now, and I believe that we got something special to say with the songs and with our live performances. Come see the band live, and I think you'll agree with me. We never mail it in. It's a real rock band at the end of the day, and boy, we bring it every single night.
Okay. Did it make you upset when he made those Facebook posts talking trash?
I don't really read them, to be honest with you. A few other fans have mentioned a few things that were considered perhaps derogatory comments, but I think that sometimes people speak without thinking about the big picture, and I don't believe that he meant those things. But it's been said, and it's all in the past. And I like to look at the glass half full, not half empty. We move forward, and we wish each other well. And I want to see us all do good at the end of the day.
Do you ever think he'll rejoin the band?
I beg your pardon?
Do you ever think he will rejoin the band?
He's left 3 times already, and I think that I think he's comfortable with his solo career, and it's very good. I mean, I actually played on one of the tracks and did a video for him on a solo record for a song called "Party Time." He's got nothing to be ashamed of. He's got wonderful songwriting prowess. In my opinion, one of the greatest singers of this generation, that's for sure, and overlooked. And the people that know about Enuff Z'Nuff's music and stuff, I think would certainly agree with us. The band has a different timbre right now with being the front. There's no doubt about that. We still play those songs that we created together, and it's still a celebration at the end of the day.
So you guys were doing big things back in the 80s, touring with all these big hair metal bands?
Well, I don't know if you want to call Cheap Trick or Def Leppard hair metal. I think that's just a term that some guy came up with that used to be a musician and he failed miserably, and now he's going to critique us. Hair metal is a shortcut to thinking. Those are rock bands. They had great songs and they sold millions and millions of records. And sharing the stage with those cats was quite an honor. And they picked us to go out and play with them. So It was all good as far as I'm concerned. If you want to say hair metal, I guess Guns N' Roses would be hair metal too. I don't think they are, but they came out at the same time. They had long hair. They dressed up provocatively. And so Queen, and going back in the old days, you could call them hair metal too. I think hair metal is a term that's confusing motion with progress. Okay, it doesn't make any sense to me when those bands have sold collectively millions and millions of records, reached huge audiences, played stadiums around the country. It's a term that's not endearing to a lot of guys. It doesn't bother me, but at the end of the day, I think that there's a better name for those bands. Those are rock bands, okay? Colorful, flamboyant, glitter rock. I like that when Bowie came on. They called it glitter rock. I thought that's an okay term. But hair metal, if you want, all the bands would be considered under the moniker of hair metal if that was the case. And when I say all the bands, the Van Halen, Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses, the list goes on and on. We all could be called hair metal. It's a disservice to those great bands who have made great albums and left an indelible mark with the audiences worldwide.
What then grunge came out in the 90s and then everyone stopped listening to that kind of music.
Yeah, they certainly did, and rightly so. You know, bands like Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Mudhoney, those are great bands. Wonderful songs. And those bands were rock bands too. So you call the grunge, I think that's a disservice too to those groups. Those are rock bands. And they've certainly written some great songs, and you still hear them every single day. So, you know, it was once again, record companies trying to come up with another name for music that's really under the moniker of rock.
Are you guys doing a big tour?
Yeah, we're on the Glam Slam Metal Jam tour right now with Pretty Boy Floyd and the Midnight Devils. They're on Pavement Records. They have a brand new record out as well they're supporting. And I produced that record coincidentally. And as soon as we finish this tour, we have 4 more dates on this illustrious run through North America. And then we fly over to England, and we're on the Skid Row tour for the next 3 weeks over in the UK.
What is it like touring after a pandemic?
I'm sorry?
What is it like touring after a pandemic?
Well, it's a little challenging, that's for sure. A lot of people out there are suffering. Businesses have been closed. You know, our government looked at bands as a hobby and not serious. All the concerts, promoters, agents, a lot of the crew guys have definitely suffered. And more importantly, the fans who love music. But that's past. It's right now. I think we're in a pretty good shape right now, where everything's opened up. It's the wild, wild west, and I think we're looking forward to our freedom has all come back to us, so we can celebrate rock and roll, heavy metal now, and pop, and all the music that's out there. All entertainment, for the most part, is back on track again. And I think 2023 will be a terrific year for everybody to go out and see shows.
I've been to a few shows, and fans seem more into the shows after not being able to rock out for years.
Yeah, they certainly have. There's not about that. After you sit for a couple of years and waiting for the doors to open to your theaters, plays, rock concerts, it's only fitting right now that they're going to clamor to their favorite bands and want to see shows. And in a lot of ways, bands and crews are happy. Everybody's grateful to be back out there working again.
What is life like on the road for you?
It's been pretty good. I got a great band, wonderful guys who want to go out and play every single night. So no, it's been really good, and the turnouts have been good at the shows as well. The fans are coming out; they want to see rock concerts, and we're providing a service every single day. It's not just smoke machines and people shaking their ass. It's about hearing good music, and that's what we do every single night.
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
Do I ever what?
Do you have a ritual before you go on stage?
No, just get a little bit of warming up, and that's about it. I'm pretty clean on the road, no alcohol. Make sure I can sing every single night. I'm pretty looking forward to just the great shows and putting on a good performance and leaving a good impression with the audience.
What is your favorite memory from playing a show?
Well, there's too many of them to mention, but anytime you can share the stage with the bands I've mentioned before, that's pretty special. When you go to these huge festivals, when you play to 20, 30,000 people, those are exciting moments for me. I want to reach an audience every single night, and a lot of those people don't get a chance to see you in certain venues, but they'll come out if it's a consolidation where you get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bands together. That's always real special to me. Getting ready to do a couple of those right now. As a matter of fact, we're going to Australia. Right before Australia next year, we'll go to Key West in Florida. We're playing with Tesla and Styx and Coy Winger and a bunch of great bands. So that's what I enjoy, playing those big shows with all our colleagues that we don't see all year, but it's a chance for us to get together again and celebrate what we do for a living, and that's playing music.
What is your worst memory?
Say it again.
What is your worst memory from playing a show?
Any cancellations, I don't like those at all. Bad weather, club closing down, a venue that's having trouble. Those are certainly in my wheelhouse of not putting a smile on my knitted brow. But for the most part, no, pretty good. Most of the shows have been well attended, and we're grateful to be out there playing gigs. Not many bad memories, to be honest with you.
What is next for you?
Next for us is this big tour over Europe, and then with Skid Row. Those guys, we started with Skid Row. Our first tour was with Skid Row back in the late 80s. So here we are now, crossing paths again 30 years later, sharing a stage with our brothers. It's great. I'm good friends with Snake and the boys, Scotty, of course, and Rachel. So, the fans in England are going to love that too. Skid Row hasn't been there in a while. They have a brand new record out. Our brand new record, Finer and Sin, is out as well. So, 2 bands after all these years putting a brand new record out and going out and playing shows. That's pretty exciting. That's what I'm looking forward to. And then, of course, after that, will be the Rock Island Fest in Key West, and then we'll go over to Australia for their big Glam Slam tour they have with Faster Pussycat. Wednesday the 13th from the Murder Dolls, Eclipse, Pretty Boy Flay, Enuff Z'Nuff. There's quite a few bands on that. If you just check out EnuffZ'Nuff.com, you can get all of our dates. And we'll be working probably until the middle of next year before we take a break.
How do my followers follow you?
I beg your pardon?
How do my followers follow you?
That's pretty simple. Just go to ENUFF, EnuffZ'Nuff.com. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can get us anywhere, okay? Our first video just came out for the very first track, the single on the new album, Fire and Sin. It's called Catastrophe. You can check us out on YouTube, and that's pretty easy to find us.
Fun question time. You're on death row and it's time for your final meal. What's on the menu?
Oh, good question. I'm going to go with shepherd's pie. I've always loved that in England. One of my favorite meals in the world. If I get a second choice, it'll be poached eggs. That's real simple for you right there, my friend.
Yeah. If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Peace on earth.
Okay. Let's say you could choose any song ever written by any band, and you can change that song where you were the one who wrote it and it was your song. What song would it be and why?
Happy birthday, because it's a celebration of life. Everybody has a birthday every single day. It goes on all through the year, 365 days of the year. Happy birthday, that's a good one.
Well, thank you for being on my show. The next time we talk at the backstage on Winter Shows, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Have a nice time.
It's a pleasure speaking with you as well. Thank you very much for talking to me. And I wish you and your family well.
You too. Have a nice night.
Peace.
Rosemary and salt, pepper, garlic seasoning.